Hello, everybody out there in YouTube. We are the Middle Aged Guys, and we're going to be bullshitting about a little bit of video game market analysis and how things have actually been pretty busy over the beginning of this particular year. I am the Reverend.
The theme here.
And Gray Mouse 1.
It used to be historically that, whenever you're thinking about your major AAA releases and your front loading or back loading of like releases throughout the year, that everything came out last quarter of the year. Between September to December, that whole leading into the holiday season really carried like literally over 70 to 80% of your game releases, especially when it came to AAA releases for the industry, universally worldwide. Over the last 10 years, though, that particular schedule has been shifting around a bit, where we've been seeing a lot of releases showing up very, very early in the year or in months that you normally wouldn't expect them to. For instance, over the last few years, we've actually been seeing a lot of fighting games showing up really early in the year, but a lot of that is due to the fact that EVO happens every year, usually around summertime, and that usually gives players a few months to go ahead and get familiar with a brand new game before it actually shows up in EVO. But even past that, if we look at just this year alone, as far as AAA titles that have been released out over the last few months, and we're only talking about, it's only March 9th today. We're not even halfway into March. We're not even officially into the springtime just yet. The AAA titles that have actually hit that are highly rated happen to be, let's see here, Horizon Zero Dawn, Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, For Honor, Ghost Recon, and also Neo, amongst many others. As you can see, Gray Mouse has them out right there. Yeah, amongst the other plastic TNA that he has on his table there. All right. But that brings up a really, really interesting point. Like, a lot of people were saying, well, why is Nintendo going to go ahead and release out the Switch in March when normally that's something you'd reserve for the holiday season or something leading up into the holidays? Well, the whole market has changed a bit, where it seems like the publishers are finally figuring out people have money year round, okay? So if you sit there and you space out the releases of games and consoles and things like that, you actually have a better chance of grabbing traction per title, other than, hey, look, I've got this great fucking title. It's revolutionary and everything else. It's called Beyond Good and Evil. We're going to stick it right in the middle of the holiday season of 1998. Oh, fuck. People forgot about it in the midst of all the other 60 other fucking AAA titles that released in the same 2 months. Comes around to the end of January, it's in the fucking bargain bin for $19.99. Okay, which, if you're anybody who's stuck around and actually, I've worked behind the counter and I've worked with publishers and everything else, it just kind of seemed kind of obvious. So it's like, hey, look, why are we backloading everything in the last 3 months? If we spread things out, it doesn't even have to be everything evenly spread out, just a few other fucking titles like for the rest of the year, we have a lot better chance of having games catch on, which kind of reflects the changing market as it is. And we're going to kind of go ahead and take our time to discuss that right now, especially since this fucking year, at the rate that it's going right now, it's going to be busy the whole fucking year. Now, guys, what are your thoughts?
No, this year, gaming companies and stuff like that, they just came out with, look, what Gray Mouse has in front of them is basically from 2017 alone, within the first 3 fucking months.
Yeah. Yep.
Fuck you, game companies, okay? Because basically you're just saying, here's the shit. Pull out your wallet. Come on. You know you want it. Come on. Even seeing those games right now, I'm just like, fuck. But it's all right. Look, even at the end of last year, even at the end of 2016, you had games come out like, okay, shit, The Last Guardian is an example of that shit. And it's like, damn, man. That's what they wanted to do. They just wanted to rape our fucking wallets No, but I won't call it rape because I'll be voluntarily giving fucking money for some. But look at the gaming lineup that is coming up in 2017. As long as they don't go scalebound on us. I had to go there, guys. I just had to. Could you imagine if Cuphead gets canceled?
No.
Look.
It's going to show up at E3, and they're going to finish up that tagline with exclusively for nothing.
No, it'll go PS4 before it goes in. What if it hits the Switch?
I wouldn't mind.
Look, if Scalebound hits the Switch, you mean to tell me that Nintendo won't get some shit that Microsoft? But look at again, the first 3 fucking months. The first 3 fucking months, you had a new system that just got basically rated with the games that are on it. Yeah, I mean, these two here are owners of Switches. You got all these games that Gray Mouse has in front of them that I need to partake in sooner or later. And it's like, damn, man. As the Reverend said, the rate that it's going, this is going to be a big fucking year. Especially if Shenmue 3 makes the 2017 December release. Reverend, don't you fucking jinx that shit, man.
I'll withhold my comments at this moment in time. What about you, Gray Mouse? What are your thoughts? I mean, obviously the year has been big so far, and you've been actively participating in it. So, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts are: I've played 3 out of the 5, only because I got this one and this one today. So that's the reason why. But what I played of Neo, what I played.
Sorry to interrupt you. Didn't Ghost Recon just come out?
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
So Neo, and then Horizon Zero Dawn, and then of course Zelda. And again, this is a variety of things: Xbox, Nintendo, and PlayStation. Right here, I own all the systems. But yeah, if this is the beginning or a glimpse of what this year has in store for gamers, you just might as well throw your wallet out the window because it's gone. Because as soon as you open it up, all you see is little cobwebs and little butterflies flying out of it.
I want to see bats flying out my fucking wallet.
And then each and every one of these games, the Neo, oh my God, I cannot recommend that enough, especially if great game. Zero Dawn, great game. Zelda, yes. I haven't had the opportunity to participate with these yet, but I will. But if this is the beginning of what this year has to offer,
look at what they did last year. You had Battlefield.
Yep.
I mean,
that was critically acclaimed.
Didn't Titanfall 2? You had, again, you had The Last Guardian. Fuck, man. You had all these games that just hit at certain times and at certain moments. Even for the fucking 3DS.
Oh, yeah.
I
got a couple of those back there.
Yeah.
In that row over here. I mean, 3DS, I think there's a couple Vita games that came out also that JRPGs that, I have shelves flat full of games for the since June of last year that I haven't even touched yet.
So people have been going broke over these games, over amiibos, over consoles that just came out, and again, it's the first 3 fucking months of 2017 by the time we're making this video, and it's like, damn, man, E3 is around the corner. Are they preparing to rape us again next year?
Well, I think what's happening by and large is that a lot of publishers are figuring that, like I said, traditionally speaking, 90% of your AAA releases were all in the last half of the year. There was always that big spring to the end of summer drought that people just fucking hated. Well, unless you were like me, where it was like, hey, by that time, all the AAA titles that they released out during the Christmas is going to be in the bargain bin now. If they haven't, already been sold, then I can go ahead and I can pick those up and I can catch up on stuff.
I have to do a Phoenix right here and say objection.
Okay.
Simply because the summer sales on Steam.
Well, I'm saying traditionally speaking. I mean, even then.
I'm just saying.
Even then, the summer sales of Steam, that happens like at the end of July, beginning of August. So that's still the end of summer. So when it comes to that, it's one of those things where it's like, but the other thing with the sales on Steam, and I know this from experience, is that everything goes on sale. So what happens with a lot of the Steam users is that they sit there and all the stuff in their wish list that's got like 100 items or so, they knock out like a bunch of them, like a dozen items at a time, because they're going to get them at a fraction of the price. What's going on nowadays with gaming is that a lot of the publishers are realizing that if they sit there, they space things out and they give consumers, a regular release of games that are worthwhile, that are worth a fuck, all right, throughout the year, instead of having 90% of their releases just in the last 3 months, that it has a lot better chance for each of those games to actually go ahead and make money. Okay, because the thing about it is that, I'm going to be honest. All right, as an adult, as a middle-aged guy, okay, all of those games that Grey Mouse has in front of him right now, I only have one. Okay, and I had to make an active effort earlier this week to actually go ahead and play it because, time just isn't allowing. Okay, it's one of those things that we've kind of broached before. Now, the thing about it, though, is that there are a lot of folks like me who have their own employment, but they don't have the same workload and they don't have the same responsibility load as me, and they have the time to actually go ahead and pick up those particular games.
What you saying, man?
No, I'm not putting you out.
What you saying here?
I'm not putting you out.
Is it white?
No, I'm not pointing out your white privilege. Okay, I'm not pointing it out. Okay, I'm just saying. All right.
Is this white privilege?
No. Okay. All I'm saying is that if I had all of those games in the passenger seat of my car and I got pulled over by a police officer, he'd ask me about those. He might not ask you about those. Okay. That's all I'm saying.
That's gamer privilege.
All right, but really, no. I'm just saying. What I want to frame it. Let me step this back. A lot of younger gamers who don't have the same level of responsibility, but have money, have disposable cash. All right, are going to have the time to go ahead and do this. I'm saying this from experience. Back in early 2000, I was able to do that. Okay. When I picked up everything I picked up, I fucking played. All right. Now I pick something up and I have to make an effort to play it. Okay. But I think overall it's a good thing because it's kind of showing, it's kind of funny because not only is it a very busy year for games, but it's also a very busy year for geek movies. As far as we've had Logan, there's King Kong, there's what's coming up next? There's New Guardians of the Galaxy. We're gonna have Spider-Man. There's gonna be Thor Ragnarok. There's gonna be a whole bunch of other things that are coming out. There's Justice League.
Yeah, we had Lego Batman and John Wick 2.
Exactly. There's so many things that are within this vein.
We got Ghost in the Shell coming up.
Yeah, Ghost in the Shell is coming up. The only real fear that I have is that this has the makings and
fucking wallet being
no. Besides that, okay, is that this has the makings and this has the outlook of a bubble that's being built.
Full Metal Alchemist.
Okay, yeah, we know that's coming out too, but no, really, this has the outlook of a bubble that's building. Okay. Yeah, and I hate to say that.
That hurts, man. I don't think that's going to happen.
No,
it's not a bubble.
No. And the thing is that gaming as an industry as a whole, the funny thing about gaming is that the industry as a whole makes a lot of money. But when one side makes a lot of money, the other side kind of dips down. It doesn't seem like it's a whole bubble that builds up and then boom, it's just all gone. Okay, it just seems like it builds up and then, oh, all the money that was over here just kind of shifts over here all of a sudden. Okay, but it's one of those things that as a casual analyst, somebody who just does this as a fucking hobby, I hate to say it, but are we heading headlong into something like that? Because when Atari was doing their thing with the 2600, and they also had the ColecoVision and the Intellivision and the other hanger-ons coming out on a regular basis, people thought that was going to be, the founders of Atari, they were buying corporate property left and right, because that was the shit that they thought they were going to be doing for like the next 50 fucking years. They even did that shit in like places like Japan and Europe and stuff like that. That's where Namco ended up being embedded into their part of the industry, and other fucking European companies ended up being embedded in that part of the industry, like Vivendi and other things like that. So I think it's something that we have to think about.
You know what? Look, wait. Even with certain cartoons or even shit that's coming on Netflix pretty soon. I mean, look. We had Voltron, Legendary Defender, Season 2. I mean, fuck. Look. Samurai Jack is back this fucking weekend. I don't think there's going to be an oversaturation. I think that motherfuckers are starting to wake up.
I will have to disagree with the Reverend on this. I think that we have not hit the peak yet. I think this is the beginning of an enlightenment, because I really think that the publishers, like you said, and the developers, they're starting to realize that if you give a slow and steady drip of good shit, people will buy it instead of fucking blowing your load at the end in October, November, December. So, but I think there will never be a game crash like it was in Atari. I hate to say it, but
don't say that. Don't say that.
Yeah.
No. What I'm saying is,
I was trying to avoid that.
I have to put it out there. But,
no, I was trying to avoid those words.
Well, yeah. I'm not saying that there will ever be one. This is a multi-billion with a B dollar industry. You had people like Anita Sarkeesian. You had all these other fucks that have been trying to take down the gaming industry, and to no avail. The gaming is going.
Here's the thing. All right,
I don't see this stopping. I think that, like you said at the beginning,
the only way that happens is if games suck.
Look, this is the beginning. This is the beginning of the year. 3 months. I mean, if they continue doing this,
but that's the point. What if they don't continue doing that?
Drip, man. They're real.
No. Here is my fear: is that they continue doing this type of thing, and then they continue doing this type of thing, and then they continue doing this type of thing. I think it's really exciting in the fact that we're heading into 2017. With this particular type of prospect in front of us, all right? But what if the next year is like that? What if the next year is like that? What if the next year after that is like that? I'm looking 3 to 5 years down the line, okay, where things, like I said, I don't want to sit there and act like I'm a professional analyst or something, but this does look like the beginning of a bubble, all right? And I don't think it's ever going to sit there and burst and crash, but it's happened before, which is one of the reasons why when you mentioned it, Grey Mouse, I cringed. All right.
Well, the thing is, though, there's a lot. The reason why there was a crash, I hate to use that, is because there was no QA, there was no monitoring, there was no anybody. Joe Smo, Smucka motherfucking Telly can make a video game on DOS for Atari. You cannot do that no more.
Look, even if that were to happen, I hope it doesn't. It will just rises out of the ashes again.
This is just what Nintendo's going to rise out of the ashes again. Nintendo's going to do it. I mean,
no.
look,
And here's the thing. I will say this. All right, with as busy as it's been so far, and like I said, we're not even halfway into March. Okay, I am really excited for the rest of the outlook of this year. Okay, I'm expecting that E3 2017 is going to be pretty interesting. Although part of me is telling me that it's probably going to be one of the more lackluster E3s of the last 5 years. Okay, but for everything that we've seen happen for E3 2016, E3 2015, even back to E3 2014, all right, that's all coming to fruition right now, and we're seeing it, and it's in front of us.
What if this E3 they announce a Half-Life 3, a Chrono Trigger remake, and Power Stone 3 Rival Schools 3?
It's already called. It's called Chrono Cross.
No.
I had to throw that out.
No.
But in all honesty, if this is any indication, these 5 games that's been sitting in front of me, if this is any indication of what 2017 has to offer,
and out of those 5 games, you got what? 3 of those are fucking exclusives.
Yep.
For 2 consoles.
Yeah.
Yep. This one and this one, absolutely.
3
and this one, 3
for 2 consoles.
I'd have to say that overall, a lot of the gaming wealth and a lot of the things that people are excited about is pretty evenly spread across the whole spectrum. All right,
except Microsoft.
Well, yeah, that's Microsoft.
Hey, look, I'm going to call a spade a spade.
Yeah, that's Microsoft. But even then, for the folks who have the system, they still have reasons to go ahead and keep a hold of it. All right. Not all of it relating to actual AAA games that are released out, but that's another conversation altogether. Like I said, I'm really excited about this here, but the one thing that concerns me is that when things start hitting on a rapid pace like this, where it seems like, oh shit, there's way too much that's coming out for me to keep up with, and I'm a hardcore fucking gamer who's willing to spend a lot of my fucking money to go ahead and into this industry, much less to somebody who's a casual follower of the hobby or the industry, then there has to be a small level of concern that everybody has to go ahead and actually recognize. I don't predict a crash. I'm not that guy. Okay, I am not Joe Pachter. Okay, I'm not that motherfucker who's going to sit there and say, "Oh, the Switch, it's a flash in the pan. The 3DS, I expect it to fail in 2.5 years," because that asshole went ahead and said that shit. I'm not paid to do that, okay? But I just have to point out, when things start looking like this, there are other implications that we have to sit there and think about, 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 years down the line.
Well, the thing is, though, if you really think about it, there's $300 sitting here in front of me, excluding the plastic TNA. But anyway, this is
that are $120 a piece. I know.
How much?
$120 a piece.
Well, maybe I got it from when I was in Japan.
Okay,
but
yeah.
but $60 a piece. So that's $300 if my math is correct.
Yeah.
Am I regretful? Fuck no. It's just the fact that
even for the Microsoft game.
No, I'm not.
No, and the thing is that I'll completely agree with him. I completely agree with him.
With the and now that I think about it, and the more that I'm listening to the Reverend, like I said, I'm trying to be level-headed here, not a fanboy or whatever. It's starting to get oversaturated, and too much of a good thing becomes a bad thing. I mean, you need water to survive, but you could also drown in it. I'm just saying. So I hope that they keep a steady drip, not a fucking open up the faucet and just, you know what I mean? Because you got to space it out a little bit. I mean, maybe a AAA title every month, or 2 or 3 from each, from Microsoft, Sony, or Nintendo.
But what's the next AAA game that's going to be coming out? And when is
wow, that's a very good question.
I don't have my
Yeah, you caught me really off guard on that one.
Yeah, that one I'm not prepared to answer right now. I
And
know as far as it goes, what's coming
why,
up over the last few months is still pretty kind of packed. So,
but you see, okay, by the end of the year, the Switch will be blown wide open with its titles. You know?
Oh yeah, there'll be over 60 games by the end of the year, including IP or ID games.
There's going to be a lot. Okay, there's going to be a lot of indie games. There's going to be a lot. There's going to be certain AAA titles for
Mario Odyssey.
yeah, I mean, and the thing is that we really haven't even touched the indie games, which have constant releases throughout the year.
Yeah,
and hidden gems just pop up like in random spots when it comes to indie games. So, you know, I mean, it's one of those things. I'd have to say that, wow, I don't know if we ever came down to like a real conclusion or consensus with this, but one of the things that we have to realize is that 2017 as a year for geeks, it's a good fucking year. It is a really good fucking year. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's games. It doesn't matter if it's movies. It doesn't matter if it's TV. It's a good fucking year for a geek. All right. But as a cautionary, point, like I said, like I said before, when we have things that are coming out and doesn't look like it's just a drip, when it starts looking like it's an overwhelming flood and stuff like that, we have to be cautious about those sort of things.
Absolutely. I can agree with that. But the thing is, though, there will always be people that buy up their shit.
You know, with the sheer number of consumers, that's something that you always have to go ahead and look forward to.
What I find interesting, though, is the fact that all these games sitting here before me, you know, it's crazy for me to think that all of them are highly acclaimed. And that is great for the industry. I think that at this point in time in 2017, I really think that the gaming industry has should I use this word, matured a little bit to a point to where of course there's going to be shit games. There will always be shit games in the cycle, but this, in my honest opinion, is unprecedented to have fucking all these AAA titles in the last we're only 3 months into the year, and you got 5 AAA games just getting critically acclaimed. And it does, if you want to be, if I put on my critical hat here and I'm like, ooh, maybe this ain't a good thing, but my gamer hat goes on and I'm like, yeah. I want to spend it. Yeah, I got to have that. Got to have that one. Got to have this one. Got to have this one.
Yeah, I think it goes without saying that, this definitely gives us reason to go ahead and be excited. All right. We would definitely like to go ahead and know what your thoughts are out there on YouTube, whether or not you're excited about the way that the gaming industry is going right now. If I may segue for a moment and toot my own horn, we have not been doing this for a long time. And actually, between the theme and Gray Mouse and myself, I was the last one to actually go ahead and jump on into the YouTube thing and actually start contributing. It may seem like a very meager thing, but I just hit 50 subscribers. And to celebrate that, what I'm going to be doing with this particular video, and I may be putting out an individual video on my own for a contest that we're going to go ahead and we're going to start running over the next 2 weeks. I would say I'll give everybody 2 weeks to go ahead and do this. But I have a lot of spare Steam keys for games, and actually a few other extra keys, I think, for like the Wii and the PS4 that I can go ahead and gift out. So what I'm going to do is the first ever middle-aged guys giveaway on YouTube, okay? What I want you to do is that I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to give away a grand total of, since it's only 50 subscribers, grand total of 3 keys, all right? And there are a few things that you have to do in order to go ahead and be eligible for this, all right? First thing that you have to do, you have to go ahead and like this video, all right? Second thing you have to do, you have to go ahead and subscribe to this channel, all right? Subscribe to the Themes channel, subscribe to Gray Mouse's, and subscribe to my channel, all right? Our channels, okay? Third thing you have to do is that you have to share this video, all right? And then you got to go ahead and make a comment with a link showing that you actually shared the video out on whether it be to Twitter or Facebook or whatever, all right? And what I'm going to do is that once I go ahead and I see there are at least 3 people going ahead that they like the video, they've subscribed to our channels, and that they've shared the video out, I'll go ahead and I'll get in contact with you with the list of the keys that I have. I'm going to say this right now. There's a very high possibility that you already have these keys for Steam, but all of these keys are available for me to go ahead and gift out to people because they're keys that I got from Humble Bundle and other package purchases that are just sitting there in my account that are not validated. Okay, I am ready to go ahead and give these away. I'll shoot out a list to you. I'll give you a range of them, and just in case somebody else has already chosen it or something else, you'll have a secondary choice, and that's how we're going to go ahead and handle it. You know, I would like to thank everybody who's went ahead and subscribed to my particular channel. I know there's only 50 of you. A lot of you not set to public, so I can't see your names right away, but that is cool. But if you guys can go ahead and help me out by liking this video, subscribing to our channels, and sharing it out to everybody else out there, I am willing to go ahead and say thank you right back by giving you a key to one of the extra keys that I have that I've gotten a hold of either through Humble Bundle or any of the Steam package purchases that I have. So thank you guys. It's been a really, actually, I think I started in July last year, so the last 7 months or so has gone really fucking quick, and I tell you right now that I'm starting to count my weeks by the number of times we do our videos. So yeah. But with that, we've only got like a minute left in this particular one due to the software that we're using. Thank you very much, YouTube, for following us all the way up to the end. Like I said, we've got the giveaway going on. Rewind it like 20 seconds to go ahead and see the fucking rules, all right? I'm not going to re-explain them, okay? We are the middle-aged guys. Our bullshit about our thoughts on the way that the industry has gone up to this point pretty much ends here. I'm the Reverend.
The theme here.
Gray Mouse 1.
Once again, for the benefits of common sense, logic, and gaming. Yeah, look at all those games in front of Gray Mouse. Good-ass games. Pick them up.
Recommend
Play
them.
And then when you play them, then share your opinions about them. Credits.
Yeah.